Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 12 of Tough Bumps. I am Matt Conderton, and of course, joining me all the way from the great state of Iowa is Eric Pilcher. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Matt. I'm actually turning my continual glucose monitor to silence.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, because, this subject might cause my blood sugar to go up.
Well, also, too, when you're doing a podcast, there's nothing worse than being interrupted by continual glucose. My grandfather used to say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Your,
very
your,
wise. Yeah,
did your grandfather host a podcast?
I don't think so, but he had just unimaginable foresight and could really,
Oh, in the future. Yes.
yes, he knew.
Well, maybe the ghost of Wilford Brimley contacted him and
Oh,
said that there
perhaps
will be future innovations in the world of Beatus.
diabetes.
Yes.
Um, yes,
Wilford Brimley is like the diabetes Jesus.
yes, and one of the great mustaches in history.
Yes, and the star of John Carpenter's biggest studio movie hit, Cocoon.
Oh, that's right. I've never
Yeah.
actually seen Cocoon.
Um
Didn't appeal to me. Just never saw it.
it's I'm glad because it gave John Carpenter, as you can see the poster in the background
Hmm.
signed by John Carpenter.
Yeah.
John Carpenter is flowers.
Yes. True.
And but John Carpenter has done far better movies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Far better on far less of a budget. So
Yeah.
just the way that's like when you tell people that Sam Peckinpah's highest grossing film ever is Convoy.
Is
Not
it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh wow.
Not
That's
Bring
funny.
Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, not The Wild Bunch, Major Dundee, not cinematic classics. No, it's a cinematic shit pile that is Convoy.
Wow. Convoy. So we should mention too, the date is the date that we're doing this. So we're streaming live. Of course, most people will listen to the podcast afterward, but if you do happen to be joining us live, it is Sunday, July 27, 2025. I think it's obvious what we're kind of skipping the undercard this week and we're getting right to the main event because there's
Well,
one big thing.
this is a major news story, a global news story.
Transcends professional wrestling, really.
Yeah, like when a professional athlete dies and its top story on major news outlets, it's crossed that line.
Sure. Well, Hulk Hogan, I mean, arguably one of the most famous people in the world. Like, you could show a picture of Hulk Hogan to somebody, on any continent in almost any country, and they would know it's Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. And you know, good, bad, or indifferent, he was a major player in the boom of professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah,
And
to put it mildly, yeah.
and I say major player because people say he's solely responsible. And as I've said on this podcast, that's horribly inaccurate because Hogan was just an avatar in this. Without Vince's vision, without Vince's money,
Hmm.
there's there isn't a Hulk Hogan.
I mean, there might have been a Hulk Hogan sticking
But
around in
it would
the
there wouldn't
AWA,
have
but
been there wouldn't have been the boom that it
right,
was. There
right,
wouldn't have been the animated series. There
right.
wouldn't have been the horrible god awful movies that came out.
Yes.
There wouldn't have been there wouldn't have been a Sports Illustrated cover. There wouldn't have been the parents fighting over the LJN Hulk Hogan figure at your local Kmart.
Hmm.
There would have been none of that.
Right, right.
So yeah, Hulk Hogan could have stayed in the AWA, and I've said this. Hulk Hogan could have had a career still without Vince. But
Sure.
Vince wouldn't have had a career without Vince taking the risks Vince took.
Hmm.
And Vince had far more to lose in this than Hulk did.
Hmm. Right. If WrestleMania had failed, that
Vince
would have
is
been the
done.
That would have been the end. Yep.
And I'm sure Hogan could have crawled on hands and knees back to Vern.
Hmm.
Um, or even he could have went down to Crockett Promotions.
Hmm.
I don't know if that would have worked out for him. Crockett was not certainly not a federation where the big, larger than life guys succeeded. Cr- I mean, Crockett had,
I thought it was where the
does
big boys play. No.
well, no, that's after Turner
Oh,
took
sorry.
over for Crockett.
That's right.
Crockett was, your champ was Ric Flair,
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, Sting. I mean, I think the biggest powerhouse they had under the Crockett banner was probably Luger.
Hmm.
And Luger, I would say, had something Hogan didn't. Luger could actually work.
Okay. This might be our first disagreement in this conversation, and we might have a few, which will be good.
Oh, I think
Good,
we will.
good for the show. So I'm going to tell you just a quick anecdote. So when I was in high school, the first job I ever had was at Sears. Remember Sears? I'm showing my age a little bit, but
Oh, yeah.
Sears. So I worked at Sears at the Steeplegate Mall in Concord, New Hampshire. And there was this guy there. I was in school. There was this guy there named Mark Perry. I haven't kept in touch with him. I have no idea what happened to him. Hard to find him too, because Mark Perry is obviously a very common name. But
I
he
would
was,
think so.
yeah, yeah. But he was, he was older than I was. He was probably in his 30s. He was one of the managers there. And he and I were having a conversation one day, and he found out that I liked professional wrestling, and turned out he was also a lifelong fan. He'd been watching it, since he was a kid. And he said something to me that was very interesting. So we were talking about Hulk Hogan one day, and I said to him, I think Hogan's kind of boring, at least as far as his matches. You see one Hogan match, you kind of see them all, and he doesn't really do much. A lot of kicking, punching, body slam. It's not
Yep.
that interesting to me. Mark said to me, he said, and keep in mind, this is before we had YouTube. Now you can just go on YouTube and find almost anything. But this was back in the days where the only way to see this stuff that you couldn't just see on television was tape trading. And you've even told me you used to do that, right? You used to trade
Hmm.
tapes. I never got into that part of it, but Mark told me at the time, because again, this was pre-YouTube. He said, if you ever get a chance to get your hands on a tape of some of Hulk Hogan's matches from Japan, it might change the way you feel about him and what he could do in the ring. So I just kind of filed that away in the back of my mind, I guess, because then years and years later, sorry about that. I forgot to mute my phone. Years and years later, I'm sitting at the computer one day, and this memory just pops into my brain at random of Mark Perry telling me, "Hey, if you get a chance to see some of Hogan's matches from Japan, you might see him a little bit differently." So I just went on YouTube, because at this point we had YouTube, and I just type in Hulk Hogan Japan, and I found a bunch of matches, and Mark was right. Like Hogan, and this is where I disagree with you. Hogan could work. He just
Okay, okay, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
no
Yes, his
worries.
Japan matches, yes, he worked.
Yeah,
But again, what's the majority of his work? If you're comparing a body of work here, and I compared him to Lex Luger because I think in the 80s that was probably the fairest comparison you could do.
sure.
Um Luger did it in the 80s. Would you think Hulk Hogan could go hold for hold, not hold for hold, obviously, but not have to be completely carried in a match with Ric Flair? Because Luger didn't have to be completely carried by Flair.
Sure.
I think Hogan, at that point in the 80s, would have had to been carried by Flair because he was so ingrained with the way he did things in WWE. And I think to a
Sure.
degree that's why their house show matches went over like a broken sewer pipe. You because you if you don't stay in that mode of working like Hogan worked in Japan, you lose it.
Sure.
You can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, yeah, I don't Hogan worked in Japan,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you look at the dance partners he had in Japan
Oh,
too.
sure. But he
He
was
guys that could really mask any shortcomings he had.
but I just remember, I remember seeing him, throwing insiguris and doing all kinds of stuff. Even just variations of suplexes that I never saw him do growing up on U.S. television. Like he was pretty. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't Luthez, but honestly, I was genuinely impressed with what I saw, and I said, "Wow,
I
Mark was right." I mean, he was
No,
holding his
I
own in there. He was pretty
he
good.
was impressive in Japan,
Yeah,
which I think, American audiences have every right to feel kinda shortchanged
yeah,
when you look at what he could do in Japan.
yeah.
And it is very forgotten what he did in Japan. It's also very forgotten what he did in the AWA. He
Mm-hmm.
worked in the
True.
AWA
That's true.
because you had to work in the AWA.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
couldn't just you couldn't just coast under Vern Gagne.
Right. Right. Vern would
That
have kicked
wasn't
your
good.
ass if you did.
Yeah, you would have been put in the ring with Crusher Khrushchev and or Mad Dog Vachon and just
Yeah. Or
or Henning.
Vern would have gotten in the ring and stretched you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Henning, Nick Bockwinkel,
Yeah.
Larry Zabisco, guys that had no problem turning a match into a shoot
Yeah.
if they absolutely had to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I guess and I've never heard it really explained, but I guess just Vince wanted him to just do the big moves, and I guess Vince was right because obviously it worked in terms of drawing money and building the empire that became the WWF,
He was
um but we did get shortchanged. What you said, that was a good way of putting it. We did get shortchanged because Hogan could have given us more.
because he could have certainly and he really could have shown more and it would have been better for him because then you could have had those long programs with guys like Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude, guys that could work in the ring. The problem is everyone's like, well, why didn't they have these feuds? Why didn't they have this? And I'm sure there was some backstage politicking going on,
Sure.
why they didn't have them. But I think in the flip side, you look at it as, and Vince probably Vince, I would guess, felt this way that you would expose Hogan.
I don't know. Do you think so? Do
It,
you think that's how he looked at it, or was it
I
just
think
like,
it, I
or was
think
it
it,
just keep it simple?
I think in Vince's, that's it. Because if you then put Hogan in these matches with these legit signed, with these legit technicians, fans would then be programmed to want him to be in these technical showdowns with guys like Ultimate Warrior, Sid Justice, um, on down the line, and
So
that's
then
not there.
that becomes. I see what you're saying.
Because
So
then
yeah,
you not just expose Hogan, you expose who's supposed to be this chief villain that could really take Hogan out. It's
I see what you're saying.
what if you put Superman up against Lex Luthor in a Superman movie and all Lex Luthor had was a bottle rocket?
Yeah,
Yeah, no one's going to buy it. You're not going
right,
to want to see that.
right.
So,
Yeah, I
you
hadn't thought
know,
of it quite that way. That's interesting, though. I think you're onto something. That does make sense.
So if you put Hogan with Rude in an extended program, and I'm almost almost certain there was politicking involved with that, with Rude and Henning both, because they were AWA guys, and I'm sure they had an axe to grind with Hulk over
Didn't
the way he let. over the way he left the AWA.
They did have matches with him though, just not extended programs. I mean, I remember
Yeah, they
Hennig
had
versus Hogan on Saturday night's main event, which from what I recall was a really good match.
Yeah, but again, you can't do that too often because
Right,
at that
right.
point you're going to expose. Great way. I just thought of this. We could look at this. Goldberg versus Regal.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, I go back to my main point. If you're a wrestler and you work a certain style for so long, you can't go back to a way you worked 5-10 years earlier.
Well, it probably depends. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that that's the truth for everybody. I'm sure for some people that is, but I'm sure there's some people who are just so good at what they do that they probably could go back if they had to. You know what I mean? It probably
And
becomes I mean, muscle memory has to play a role in this, and I'm sure it's like
but
riding a
Hogan
bike.
Hogan worked Japan sporadically.
Hmm.
He wasn't a consistent performer in Japan.
True.
So I mean, I would say probably for every 3 powerhouse matches he worked 1 scientific match.
Yeah.
That's not a good ratio for muscle memory.
Yeah. True. That's true.
So yeah, we did get shortchanged. And it could have, now that I think about it, might have tied into Hogan not wanting to do that program or that match with Brett.
Mm, yeah.
Because then you're like, okay, I'm out of the company. I just had this match. Dirt sheets are becoming big. People are gonna rip on this. I hurt my value. Not just if I do decide to go to WCW, but I hurt my value if I decide to do a movie. I'm
Right.
not the immortal anymore. Yeah, this is a match on pay-per-view, a major event, SummerSlam.
Um, I
No,
forgot to.
King of the Ring, King of the Ring. It was the first ever King of the Ring when they were supposed to do it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I meant to put that picture up of Hulk at the beginning, and I forgot to, but but there he is. That's kind of the classic. I think that's probably the most seen picture of Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Uh,
Yep.
the kind of the most iconic photos. We don't need to leave it up there the whole time, but I thought it looked cool. It actually looks cool with the tough bumps. That's a
Yes,
total
it does.
coincidence. Total coincidence, by the way. But the tough bumps, red and yellow. Actually, maybe we'll just go back to it for a
Yeah,
moment
leave
there,
him up.
because that does look. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that does look pretty cool against the Tough Bumps logo as a backdrop. The red and yellow Tough Bumps logo. Yeah. So we should should we get to let's get to the hard part of this.
Oh boy. My thoughts and well wishes go to Terry Jean Balea's friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know his middle name was Gene. Um, yeah, that's it. Anything else? Anything else you want to say?
I mean, it's so hard.
Mm,
It's very hard because you know what? Okay. Hulk Hogan was a landmark figure in the history of professional wrestling. A pioneer in professional wrestling.
mm-hmm.
Uh Groundbreaking figure. Professional wrestling probably wouldn't be where it's at without him.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Terry Bollea is a piece of shit human being and was a piece of shit human being. And that's where there's the separation. Look, I have been so dismayed over the last few days with the things I have read and the things that I have heard. I would actually like to share with you, Matt. This is a surprise. I didn't even prepare you for this.
No.
What
I
I am
I didn't want to know. I prefer to be
what
surprised.
what I was going to share
Okay.
with you. If you want, I can send you a screenshot of this because I actually did screenshot it.
Oh, okay. Are you sending it via Messenger?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will have to black out her name because I don't think either of us believe in doxing. This was on Threads, a response to me. When someone said Hogan used the N-word one time, and just because he did does not make him a racist. Yes, it does. And he used it more than one time. He used it 7 times in a 3-minute rant,
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
Even if that supposedly made him a racist, he still apologized for it. He gave his life to Christ before he died. As someone who was baptized a Christian back in 2017, let me tell you, you can give your life to Christ. This isn't Bible thumping. This isn't me pushing religion. This is me telling you biblically that is flawed, inherently flawed. Because the big thing to having your sins washed away under the blood of Christ, you have to be repentant.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are things he did after that that prove he isn't repentant.
Yeah.
I will continue. I countered with, no, he didn't apologize. He told a room full of his peers, many of them African Americans, to basically not get caught.
Right. You never know who's recording. He said
And
something
he
like
used
that.
it
Yeah.
multiple times. He has
Yeah.
shown no contrition for it whatsoever. Here is the big response. Yeah, he did. He publicly apologized on live TV and said it wasn't like him and it's not typical behavior. My side note, if you've heard the conversation, he's very comfortable saying that word.
Hmm.
This was not a first time Hulk Hogan uttered that word.
And not only that, but in the diatribe that we're talking about, he even says, "I am racist" to a point. He uses those words exactly. Like he
Yes,
acknowledges his own racism.
all the all the hoopla you just spewed as lies that was made up by the black people who were mad.
Oh my God.
Get your facts straight. In the one comment that he did make, he was irate because the man that his daughter was dating was an absolute loser who actually turned out to abuse her. So the word he used to describe him wasn't
God.
necessarily wrong, was it?
That's some pretzel logic there.
And I said, no, it wasn't lies. His
Jesus.
ex wife and daughter have said he psychologically abused them. He did say the person his son made a quadriplegic, it was the victim's fault. Both of those happened before his racist colors came out. And his public apology was a farce. When he had to apologize to his peers, he just said, don't get caught.
Hmm.
Both black and white wrestlers said that. Calling anyone a racial slur is deplorable, no matter what they do. The fact that you're justifying it says a lot about your character.
Yeah.
I like what is wrong with our society that
Yeah.
we have to sit here, and I just sent that to you, Matt.
Oh, okay.
We have to sit here. Heaven forbid if Ted Bundy died in this era. Ted Bundy, I honestly believe, would have apologists.
Was this a public comment or in Messenger?
This was a public comment.
Oh, I don't think because I don't think I have a way to black that out, at least not in real
Oh,
time
Matt,
during the show. But
I can take care of it for you.
okay, well, because I was going to say, if it's a public comment, why do we have to black it out?
Because I don't want to be a part of doxing in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no, I know. I get that. I feel the same.
Uh,
I just is it doxing if this person is openly saying this
you know what?
publicly?
Throw it up then.
Yeah,
You know what? If you're
because
if you're supporting a racist, you deserve to be put out there.
well, to me, she's already put herself out there. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's why I don't think it's
And I just want to show proof that yes, this
I don't
really was said.
I don't think it's a form of doxing. I mean, we don't have to read their name out loud, but we can at least
And everyone that wants, if you want to go look, it's on Threads.
yeah. So there it is. I don't know if I can really make that any. Can I make that any bigger? Probably not. But yeah, there it is. That's the conversation or part of it. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, it's the times we live in.
I mean, it's just completely sad. And look, and then his family says to call him a racist at this time is completely disrespectful. No, it's not. When Louis Farrakhan dies, are we going to say he was a racist? Yes, we are. When George Wallace died, was he called a racist and a bigot? Yes, he was. What about David Duke? When David Duke dies,
Yeah, I know. I mean, the political climate in this country though is such that I almost think that well, I shouldn't say I almost think there will be when David Duke dies, there will be people on social media saying, "Oh, you shouldn't call him bad
and
things.
that's
He's
disgusting.
don't speak ill of the dead and all that." To me, it's not like from my perspective, I don't think of it though, maybe quite the same way that I guess so many people do, because we live in a time too where people are so polarized and people think of everything in this sort of binary way, like everything is either good or bad, black or white. Like I don't think it's I don't think it's disrespectful to his memory to bring up the really shitty things about this person. Just like I don't think, just like I don't think we're glazing him by saying all the positive contributions that he made to the world of professional wrestling or any other nice things that we might say about him.
And
I mean, I don't know if you have anything else nice you'll say about him, but or me, I don't know if I will either.
I mean,
But
I
we should
no,
be able to present a full picture. There was a time where you used to be able to, if somebody died, you used to be able to say, well, this person had a complicated history and they were complex and here's the good about them. And by
I
the way, here's the bad about them. But now it's
I
like everything's so polarized. You
I
can't
want
even
to
do that
circle,
anymore.
if I may, Matt.
Yes,
I want to
yes.
circle the one of the people that I look up to,
Yeah,
Malcolm X.
yeah. Me
When
too.
Malcolm X died, you and to this day it's still brought up his polarizing views
Hmm.
on Caucasians, Jews, and till he went to the Hajj at Mecca,
Hmm.
and then he came back. Um,
Yeah.
a Muslim podcast that I follow. The guy's very well spoken, and he was actually per, personal friend Malik. Uh, I can't even say his Muslim name.
Yeah.
It's
It can be difficult.
But you know what? I want to show because it's key to this conversation.
Yeah.
Um, and I heard it last night on my way into work. El Haj Malik El Shabazz.
Okay.
He's like, I am not going to talk about the man Malcolm X because the man Malcolm X had very polarizing views,
Hmm.
very racist views that were not in line with the views of Allah. I'm going to talk about El Haj Malik El Shabazz, a man that lived for 3 months.
Mm, yeah.
And that really kind of emboldened me for this podcast today because it's like, yeah, we can talk about Hulk Hogan, but we also have to talk about Terry Bollea.
Exactly.
And you have to differentiate the two. Hulk Hogan, that's why I spoke the way I did, because I want to make sure we're clear. Hulk Hogan deserves reverence for what he did for professional wrestling. But you don't have to, because you honor Hulk Hogan, you do not honor Terry Bollea.
Right.
Terry Bollea was not, based on evidence, not personal opinion. If we're just looking at the evidence, not a good person.
Yeah, Terry Bollea did not live up to the character that he played.
Right.
In a
I mean,
sense.
even on the most minuscule thing of say your prayers, take your vitamins. I mean, we go back to that just train wreck of an Arsenio Hall interview.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
He did bear false witness,
Yeah,
as one might say.
and I mean, look at what he did, to his coworkers when his run was really hitting the ground running. He could have been a force of so good in professional wrestling had he went to Vince McMahon and said, Vince, brother, I think we need to allow the boys to union up.
Yeah.
They could have been so protected and
Yeah.
so much better off. But no, what did he do? He went to Vince. Brother, Jesse. Yup.
That ratted him out.
Starting
Jesse
a
Ventura.
union. Jesse lost millions.
Yeah.
Over that.
Jesse's one of my heroes. I love Jesse the Body Ventura, the governor.
And you know what? You wanna talk about a man? I feel this. A man's character is, when he passes on, a man's character is best shown by his peers.
Mm-hmm.
How many wrestlers have come out and said, "Rest in peace, Hulkster"? Hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think back to when someone that was highly regarded in the world of professional wrestling passed away. Let's look at the condolences that the statements that came out when Macho Man Randy Savage came out, when Macho Man died. We're talking paragraphs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hogan, 3 to 4 lines.
Randy Savage was much more respected. And look, I have to acknowledge, though, I can't say anything about that without some of my own bias creeping in for people who don't know.
And that's
Macho
fine.
Man Randy Savage is my all-time favorite. But
I mean, my all-time favorite is still alive. So
yeah.
I'm sure. But again, I'm sure when Brett passes away, you're going to get more thought-provoking statements.
I agree.
From guys than just rest in peace, Hulkster. Thoughts and condolences go out to your family.
But there's also,
we're talking about respected guys that did this on social media. Guys like The Undertaker, Steve Austin.
Yeah.
They kept it short and sweet. And it was literally like a boilerplate,
Well, part of the problem, though, too, is because of, and really, I think it's more about, if we were to trace it back to one specific moment in time, that recording where he's using the N-word multiple times and complaining about his, I don't know if we were ever specific about this part, that he was complaining about his daughter being in an interracial relationship.
No, it was clear because he said the line.
I just mean, I don't know if we were clear about it when talking about it for people who don't know.
I thought you meant.
Oh no, Hogan's thoughts and feelings during that tirade were very clear. He did not approve of his daughter being in an interracial relationship, and that's why he repeatedly used the N-word.
Because I was like, I think it was made pretty clear when he's like, she could be dating $1 million 6'8" N-word. That
right? Oh yeah, no, it was. No, Hogan's thoughts were very clear. I think if you trace it back to that one moment in time, that's the crux of what is so deeply disappointing. Oh, go ahead.
Even recently, he could have shown contrition for it. When he was booed on the Netflix premiere.
Yeah.
Heavily booed. Booed out of the building. Go home, Heat.
Oh yeah.
On the Pat McAfee show, he's like, well, Los Angeles is a leftist city, and I supported Donald
Yeah.
Trump. That's why they booed.
Yeah.
No, he could have acknowledged it on that interview. I said some very hurtful things,
Yeah,
and I shouldn't have said them.
he's never been
I
able to do that ever. He
Yeah,
just
I mean, yes, he apologized on TV, but his apology was, it's not unlike me. Dude, you said it. You were racist.
yeah.
Like, it is like you.
Um but I wanted to connect that though, that specific moment being the biggest problem for him, to the responses from wrestlers who have to comment, because I don't know if you saw the Chelsea Green thing, but she got dragged. She ended up having to apologize because, and she shouldn't have, but she did. And she, by all accounts, Chelsea Green is a wonderful person. From everything I've read about her online,
Yes.
she's very well liked by management at WWE. Everyone loves Chelsea Green. She portrays a heel on TV, but she's actually a great person in real life, apparently. And even the heel that she plays is very likable. But anyway, so she said something. I don't have it in front of me, the exact comment, but it was something like, um, I didn't agree with his politics, but Hulk Hogan is an icon, and I'm so sorry he's gone, or something like that. But she led with something like, politics aside, or I didn't agree with politics, and because she led with that, she got dragged on the internet by all these people who were furious with her, felt that she was being disrespectful. And because I got something to say about, and by the way, she ended up apologizing. She made a follow-up statement saying she apologizes if she hurt anyone's feelings. And, and here's the thing. It's this minefield that everyone has to walk into, including Chelsea Green. She's trying to do something nice. She's trying to offer condolences, but you know, it, Chelsea Green didn't put the minefield there. Nobody did. Hulk Hogan created that minefield.
Yes.
Or let me be more precise. Terry Bollea created that minefield that everyone now has to walk through now that he's gone, in terms of expressing condolences. Because if you happen to be someone who, you want to express condolences because it's Hulk Hogan, maybe you're like us, a big part of our childhoods, etc. So you want to express condolences for the character of Hulk Hogan, but while you're at it, you don't want anyone to take that the wrong way and think that you're okay with what he did, and be, using the N-word and all that. And you end up getting dragged for it. And it's like, and I think that's why a lot of people just don't want to say anything, because it's a no-win situation. How do you express condolence? Because again, we live in this binary world now where, so I guess from the perspective of a lot of people, you have to be all in on Hulk Hogan. And now that he's gone, you can only say wonderful things. And if people think you're a racist because of it, oh, well, you either have to do that or you have to just ignore it. And obviously we're doing something more nuanced here because, we're not binary thinkers. We can approach these things with nuance and critical thinking, but I don't know how much of a place for that there is in this world anymore, because apparently you're not supposed to do that. It's very frustrating to me. And I feel terrible for what happened to Chelsea Green. She didn't deserve to be dragged for that. And she shouldn't have had to apologize. I don't think she should have apologized. I wish she had stuck to her guns. Maybe there was pressure on her from within TKO to apologize. I don't know, but yeah, she apologized for it.
Look, Chelsea Green no one deserves death threats over something they say online. I mean, even if it's the most inflammatory thing, there's a line you don't cross. And it has to be harrowing for Chelsea Green, not just as a public figure, but as a woman in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To have people sending these things to her.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I was very hurt over that.
Yeah.
I was also there was one wrestler's response I was very disappointed in. Mick Foley's.
Oh, I didn't see this yet.
Mick Foley came out and said I think you should wait 72 hours after someone dies before you say anything negative about them.
Really?
I'm like, no,
Uh,
because you got to present the whole picture, Mick.
right, right.
And, like the whole picture, Hulk Hogan, according to reports, never was allowed to meet his grandchildren because of the psychological abuse he put on his daughter.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
broke.
I knew there was estrangement, but I didn't know that specifically.
I mean, we're talking about a guy that even after he was baptized, did a video of him and his current wife laughing at his ex-wife having a mental breakdown on Facebook Live while eating popcorn.
Yeah,
Like,
disgusting.
like you can have an issue with your ex-wife. Divorces are messy. I totally get that.
Hmm.
But at that point, it's obvious she has some mental health issues. And on thread, someone said, "Yeah, you seem to forget that she cheated on Hulk with her son's 17-year-old friend." Well, you seem to forget that Hulk was unfaithful to her for decades.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and the psychological abuse he put her through that she
yeah,
documented in her book.
yeah.
Whether it's true or not, that's up to you to decide.
Right.
But I don't think you can make up the stuff she said in that book.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But I know, and I never paid too much attention to that. But yeah, I mean, there's some pretty awful stuff.
I got a
Um.
preview copy of her book,
Oh,
actually.
really? Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I had written a column for the Kirkwood Community College Communique about Eddie Guerrero when he died.
Yeah.
And after that, we started getting like wrestling preview copies from Simon and Schuster.
Oh.
And that was one of the books we got was uh uh Linda Bolea,
Oh, no kidding.
Wrestling with the Hulk.
Oh.
And yeah, there were some things in it that you're like, this is just tawdry. Like she alluded to him and Brutus having a affair. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
ah,
I don't buy it. I mean, if
like
they did, whatever, but I don't
I
buy it.
I I mean, it's funny as a
Yeah.
wrestling fan. You're like, man, kind of brings Brutus being called Booty Man in WCW under a whole nother light now.
Or maybe he put on the Zodiac costume and Hogan liked that. I don't
No,
know.
no, come on. He had to be the disciple
Oh,
with that
yeah,
leather
that's right.
biker's vest.
That's right.
Ye-
That's right.
Yeah, brother, show me the goods.
Oh God. Um, yeah, so it's it's a complicated legacy.
It is. And we have to, and I don't buy this that when someone dies, you just have to talk good at them. I call it the Bambi theory. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. No, you have to present the whole picture of their life, as you so eloquently put it, man.
Yeah. I for some reason I'm remembering when Richard Nixon died and people tried to find most of the eulogizing and all of it memorializing that I saw in the media was positive. People were trying to say positive things about Nixon, focus on some of his foreign policy achievements and whatnot. And I remember seeing Michael Kinsley. I don't know if you remember Michael Kinsley.
I
Uh,
do not.
he was the liberal host on Crossfire during its early days. And I remember seeing him going on the Conan O'Brien show at the time, and I used to love Conan. And they were talking about Nixon, and Michael Kinsley said, just because he's dead doesn't mean we have to forget that he was evil. So he was kind of breaking ranks with the rest of the media. He's like, this guy did some really evil stuff. And I don't know why everyone thinks we have to just suddenly forget that because he's dead. And it was, he was very blunt about it, which was funny. But yeah, I mean, I think
I
if you're going to honor somebody, you have to present the whole picture. I think it's dishonest.
yes,
I think to present that in a dishonest way, even if it's just lying by omission, I think is actually dishonoring the memory of that person. And people are complex and they have multi dimensions, and there's good and bad in everybody. And there's some pretty bad stuff in Terry Bollea, but I don't think it honors his memory to just pretend that he
no,
was all sunshine and roses.
no. And, I honestly, I mean, I remember as a kid, I watched many a Hulk Hogan matches,
Sure.
and they were positive memories.
Hmm.
But it's also like, I think as you get older, you become more jaded
Yeah.
in a sense because as you get older, you do see your heroes fall,
Hmm. Hmm.
and some of them fall hard. And
Yeah.
Hogan fell hard. I
Yeah.
mean, we haven't even talked about the Gawker sex tape scandal,
Right.
which I have my own beliefs on that. I don't. I I think that was a setup from the word go to get Hogan millions.
You do? You think so? Really?
Oh, yeah. How? He had sex with his best friend's wife, didn't know he was being recorded.
Hmm.
The tape just miraculously falls in the hands of one of the top unscrupulous media outlets in Gawker.
Hmm.
There are and he had just lost nearly his entire fortune in a divorce.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's too many coinkydings here
Mm.
to sit here and be like, really? No, I think there was a middleman that got the tape from Bubba the Love Sponge, submitted it to Gawker, and then I think someone else planted the information to Peter Thiel, knowing Peter Thiel had a major axe to grind with Gawker and had the millions to help Hogan do it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and everyone's like, well, he only settled for 25 million or whatever settlement he got after the $110 million judgment. But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, when you're worth like 500K,
It's a lot of money.
yeah. No, no, it was a setup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I think, but it's credible what you've presented, because the actual story that has been told. I mean, you're right. It is pretty incredible that all worked out the way it did, isn't it?
Ah, everything's coming up Hulkster.
Yeah, yeah, it is pretty remarkable. Um, do you think, and look, we don't do politics on this show, but it's almost impossible in this instance to avoid it completely, because that's also a part of Hogan's legacy. Um, do you think, were it not for the Gawker lawsuit and Peter Thiel getting involved, and because he bankrolled Hogan's lawsuit, obviously, if that all doesn't happen, do you think Hogan still ends up being at the Republican convention in 2024? Do
I
you think all
think
of that happens? Because I feel like there's a through line there, but I don't know.
look, Hogan and Trump had a friendship. I mean, WrestleMania was at Trump Casino 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
One of them, the greatest night of your favorite wrestler's
Yep. Yep.
career,
That's right.
WrestleMania 4 and then WrestleMania 5.
Yep. Yep.
Um so I think he speaks at the Republican National Convention. I don't think he's the keynote speaker that brings out Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Um, and look, you can argue that, and there are some people that have argued this, that Hogan was right, that he was booed because of his association with Donald Trump.
Hmm.
I counter with Undertaker is a Donald Trump supporter, and he was rained with cheers at that same Netflix premiere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Politics had nothing to do with it.
I think politics might have been, I think it might have been, it was not the cause, but I think it might have been another log on that fire. I think for a lot of people who were probably there in that crowd, in that LA crowd, it was like, I think see, it's hard to know. See, we'll never know. We can speculate all we want to. It's so hard to know. But I think that Hogan speaking at the Republican convention for a lot of people, and it is a blue state. I think it was another log on the fire, the same fire. People aren't gonna. Some people are gonna get mad at me for this, but the same fire that was ignited by his comments.
Maybe I know what you're trying to say, and I get it. That it might not have been the factor, but maybe it was a factor.
Yeah,
and there's a difference there. I and there, and to prove that I'm not just a hard-hearted asshole on this, it is sad that that is Hulk Hogan's last WWE appearance.
it is. Yeah, it is sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
That's how he's gonna be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it can you really say he deserved better?
No, I can't.
I mean,
Under the circumstances at the time, no, I can't.
I'm like, am I gonna sit here and pretend like I'm like, you know, that I'm heartbroken that that's what he got?
No, I mean, we were all pretty entertained by it, actually, right? Well, I shouldn't say we all. Some people were bothered, but
maybe they did just hate Jimmy Hart.
Maybe Jimmy Hart just got under everyone's skin that night
with his half-ass waving of that American flag.
Oh, I don't think it was half-assed. I think he was putting. I mean, he's an 80-year-old man, but I think he was putting everything he could into it.
Hulk Hogan, the next day on his press conference on the Pat McAfee show, said it was a half-assed waving of that American flag.
That's right. That's right.
And he challenged a who's who of WWE wrestlers.
We got to clarify this for people who haven't seen it. So for people who don't know, so the next day on Pat McAfee's show, there was a guy pretending to be Hogan. They did this bit where they said Hulk Hogan has joined us, and it was a guy. I don't know who do you know who the comedian was who was playing Hogan?
He's not a comedian. He is actually a host on the show.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay. So one of the guys on the show was doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
he did it on WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, okay. So he's on the show as Hulk Hogan, and that's where that whole came. They weren't booing, brother. They were saying Hulk Hogan and blaming Jimmy Hart and everything. And it's very funny. If you haven't seen it, you should find it on YouTube. It is very funny. It might not seem as funny now, but
that he's gonna come back for another run.
Yeah.
And lists only African American wrestlers he's going to.
Yes. Yes.
And one of the funniest ones they did, it's Ty Schmidt.
Ty Schmidt. Okay, yeah. Well, hats off to him. He did a great job.
Well, at WrestleMania weekend, he was out there and he looked at Darius Butler, who is an African-American contributor of the Pat McAfee show, and goes, "Brother, we don't want you drinking real American beer anyway."
Really? Oh, that's funny. Wow.
And then he's like, "No, brother, it's because he was born in Germany. Get your head out of the gutter."
Wow. I didn't know about that. That's funny. Wow. Jeez.
And to be fair, Darius Butler was born on an Air Force base in Germany. He's like, real American beer is only for real Americans, brother.
Oh, that's funny. Do you think that there was any conversations or any hand wringing about whether or not to do, on SmackDown, they did the 10 bell salute where they had everybody come out on the stage. Tommaso Ciampa not wearing a shirt, by the way, which looked strange for a tribute to someone who just died. But like, do you think there were, because that, I wasn't sure they were going to do, I mean, I had no doubt they were going to do a big tribute to Hogan, maybe with a long video or something, but the actual 10 bell salute, I wasn't sure they were going to do that, because that puts everybody who's out there in an awkward position, right? Because then you're
You could
looking,
tell some of them were in an awkward position.
some of them did look uncomfortable, didn't they?
Yeah. Solo Sikoa,
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu, um, uh,
Yeah.
there were others. And
Yeah, if you're a person of color, especially, right? How do you stand out there for this and not feel like this is kind of weird? I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
if I should be here.
I'm looking up something to send so you can share it with the
Okay.
audience, because it's very telling.
Really?
Very, very telling.
And I'm wondering too, and I say this only half kidding. Do you think Tommaso Ciampa not wearing a shirt was some form of like, was he sending a signal with that? Because that was weird. And I understand it's summertime and he's probably hot, but
Tommaso Ciampa's crazy. So
yeah,
I know, guys, in nothing negative, just Tommaso Ciampa is a very weird bird. And so I think you might be reading too much into it. Tommaso Ciampa was probably just like, I don't care. I just sent it to you on Facebook, Matt.
yeah, I'm grabbing it now. Let's see here. I had not seen I had not seen this picture before, but glancing at it as I get it loaded up here, I see what you
It's
mean. So
it,
there's Solo Sikoa, yeah. So AJ Styles is in tears.
well, now I need to jump in. We
Okay.
need to understand, when Hogan was in TNA wrestling, he really, I mean, AJ was over like Rover,
Mhm.
but he got AJ over to another level in
Yeah.
TNA.
Yeah.
So, to be fair to AJ Styles, Hogan probably did mean a lot to him.
Sure, sure. That's fair.
But damn.
But Solo Sikoa, the look on his face that is not one of he doesn't look like he's gonna cry or anything. Certainly, he looks like he's like he doesn't want to be there. He looks like the expression on his face. It reminds me how I would look when I was a kid when it was time to be dragged off to church on Sunday morning. Like, really, got to do
Yeah.
this again this week?
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Whew.
yeah. He doesn't look. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, that should tell you a
Yeah,
picture's worth 1,000 words.
it sure is. Wow.
Well, you, yeah. Let me see if I can find Jacob. Jacob Fatu's was interesting as well.
Oh, really? Oh, I'd like to see that. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I didn't see anybody wearing like Hogan armbands or anything. Like, you know how sometimes after somebody dies.
Yeah, here it comes.
Okay, let's see here.
This is just, you know.
Okay. Let me grab this picture here. Oh, actually, I got to do it this way. That's okay. Geez, I don't know what to make of that look. let me grab this and put it up here for people watching live here.
I mean, look, Tony Schiavone, had a very telling statement.
So there's
Somebody said condolences to you, Tony, for the loss of your friend, and Tony said, "Friend, no.
I saw that.
Coworker, yes."
I saw that. Yeah. 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 Jacob, I don't know what to make of that.
I mean, and there you see Tommaso Ciampa. It looks like Tommaso Ciampa is staring for a way out of this.
Yeah. Ciampa didn't look like he wanted to be there either. That's why I kind of wonder about the not wearing a shirt. Like, I really do. I wonder, was that like his way of saying kind of like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this?
Yeah, there's a lot of telling faces in there. If you look at the one right by Jacob Fatu,
Oh, let me go back to that. Yeah. Um, which one?
the
Who are you talking?
girl, I can't really tell who it is, but if you see her facial expression, it looks like someone just let a fart go in church.
Yeah. I'm not sure who that is either. I was trying to figure that out. Well, whoever it is too, she looks really young. She might be like, who's Hulk Hogan? No, but
Why am I here,
yeah.
Grandpa?
Yeah. But yeah, Jacob Fatu, man, that's quite the look. I think he just did nobody tell him it's okay to break character for this, maybe? He looks like he's thinking, yeah, all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't know what he's thinking.
Maybe it looks like he's thinking, fuck this guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just,
Maybe.
oh
Yeah.
man.
Maybe.
So, like I said, some of those, I saw the stills and I'm like, you can catch a still at the right time and use it any way you want to use it, but man.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. And I assume they'll do something on Raw tomorrow night too.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if CM Punk for SummerSlam will wear the red and yellow.
Yeah, he's another. He hasn't said anything, right? He hasn't said anything publicly, right?
No, and I doubt he will.
Yeah.
I was telling my cousin Austin about this. I'm like, I recall Roots of Fight, a high-end clothing company that does stuff for like clothing based on iconic athletes.
Yeah.
Asked CM Punk to do a video talking good about Hulk Hogan, and he just flat out said no.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even a discussion. I mean, CM Punk is a contracted athlete with Roots of Fight.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not doing that.
No. So now there is a kind of a lingering question. I haven't seen this addressed anywhere, but what does so what happens to what the hell is it again?
Real American
Real American
Freestyle.
Freestyle. So what happens to that now? Because I'm pretty sure Hogan's not going to be there.
Wow.
What? No, I'm just saying.
You think? You know,
Well,
I
that's
think
sort of a callback to yeah.
I think he could do a kick out at the hard too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like because I saw this post and I shared it with you, Matt. That's like Hogan's got to be cremated because no way is he gonna let dirt get over on him.
Right.
He ain't
Yeah.
gonna put dirt over.
That's right. That's right. That doesn't work for him, brother.
Nope.
No. But yeah, have you seen anything about that? What happens to
It's
that now?
going forward.
Yeah.
Look, I said this. I have a theory. They could really use this to their advantage.
Yeah.
They could do a Hulk Hogan tribute show for their first show and tie it into Ben Askren's health problems.
Yeah.
Proceeds go to Ben Askren.
Okay.
I mean, Money in the Bank, dude. You could bring all those guys, the legends that were there, do a meet and greet with them at the event if you have a ticket.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that whole thing's going to go away pretty quickly. By the way, we do have some comments. So on our Facebook feed on my page,
Oh boy.
and
Okay.
these don't show up in our regular chat room, and I don't know why. So sometimes I don't see them until afterwards. So I apologize. Um, let's see. A couple of these are pretty specific to that moment in time during the program. But Crystal points out Hulk could have been booed for multiple reasons in LA. I agree.
Yeah.
And Rocky Uber points out Hogan fell hard as soon as he used the hard R. LOL. Yeah, I mean that's really what wrecked his legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I mean a lot of the other stuff could be forgotten, but that one moment, I mean, there's just no taking it back, and he never was sufficiently contrite for it, and he never seemed to understand. That's the thing too. Like he couldn't. The thing about that is too, there's no excuse for not being able to navigate some sort of way afterward, like do the apology tour and everything, because there's plenty of previous examples. I mean, we live in a world where
Dog the bounty hunter.
yeah,
Like Hogan, follow that blueprint.
or Don Imus is another example.
I,
You know he
let's not because I'm gonna say it. Fuck it.
okay.
I don't think what Don Imus said was that bad.
I think, well, it's certainly nowhere
It,
near as bad as, I mean, a racial joke is not the same as genuine hate. I agree with you there, if that's what you mean.
if you're going to look at things Don Imus said in the
Oh, yeah.
past in
Yeah.
comparison to that, I think he said it about a feel good story at the time. And that is why, because people forget Sid Greenberg said something that I thought was more heinous.
Yeah. I mean,
And so
Imus
I
was,
don't.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a more complicated example. But especially where it was in Imus's contract with CBS Sports that he was supposed to be edgy, but he went too far with that. I
I
think.
mean,
But
I thought Sid Greenberg's statement was worse. The more I see the Rutgers women's team, the more they look like the Toronto Raptors.
yeah,
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 it's like we're gonna focus on two words that are in rap lyrics.
yeah.
I
But
mean,
no, I know. But the point is though, the blueprint was there for Hogan to
oh
follow.
yeah,
You
and
do the
you know
apology tour, and
what's funny about that too? Him and Dog the Bounty Hunter had a friendship.
oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were friends.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I bet they had some interesting conversations because
Matt, don't go down that road.
coming back to me now, why was Dog upset? Same kind of thing, right? An interracial
Oh
relationship
no, we are.
in his
Oh
family.
man.
I'd completely forgotten about this until you brought it up. But yeah, same thing, right? Birds of a
I
feather, Hogan and Dog.
Look,
Birds of
Dog.
a feather. He's
I
dead, right?
don't.
Did he die?
What?
Did Dog the Bounty
No,
Hunter, is
his
he dead?
wife died.
His
Beth.
wife died. Dog is still alive. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how, but Dog is still with us.
Yeah.
You know, and I do believe Dog was truly contrite in his apology. Like, because if you listen to him, even now when he talks about it, he literally is saying, I had no understanding that it was wrong. And
Yeah.
if you listen to the way he interacted with the people in Hawaii, especially Kona, which is a very crime ridden area, you can see why he would legitimately think he had the hood pass.
Mm.
So I think the situation, now I don't condone what Dog did,
No, no, no.
but
But
I'm saying the explanation is more feasible than Hogan's.
I don't know if I believe that he was. I don't know what I think of Dog's apology and whether he was truly contrite or not. But But at least he tried. Like Hogan didn't even try.
Hogan did it once after WWE fired him. Basically wiped him. People forget that. They wiped him out of the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
You could not, you typed his name in on the WWE search bar and nothing came up.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
whitewashed him.
Yep. Oh yeah, they buried him for a while.
So you and then he like it took about 6 months, and then he goes and he does this public apology, but then he has to go and apologize to his peers and nothing.
Yeah.
And Hogan, dumb fuck. Listen. You don't know who's recording, brother. Yes, you do. You were on a jailhouse line, stupid.
Oh, when he was talking to his son, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on a jail line. It's recorded.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
For those, we should also clarify that for people who don't know. When Nick Hogan was in a car accident driving very recklessly.
And I'm going to touch on that after you're done, Matt, because there's something that adds to the character flaw of Terry Bollea. Big with that.
Oh, yeah. And Nick's friend, Josh Graziano, I think was his
name.
John Graziano.
Yes.
Was in the passenger seat and ended up on just in a terrible. I think Nick was fine, but John Graziano ended up. I believe is he still alive today?
Yes, paraplegic.
He's a paraplegic. He was in a vegetative state at one point, wasn't he? After the accident?
I think he's actually a quadriplegic.
He's a quadriplegic. Okay.
Yeah, he has no movement from neck down.
Yeah. And Nick went to prison for that because he caused it.
Then painted himself out to be the victim on the show Brooke Knows Best.
Yep.
People don't know how hard it is in prison. I saw so many horrible things. Yeah, how about your friend who can't talk?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this, Hogan victim shamed the guy.
I know.
Like, he's like,
this was pretty low.
It's his fault because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt.
Yeah, didn't he also say to Nick on one of those calls that it was karma, that John had probably done something really terrible, if not in this life, maybe in a past life, and this was karma catching up to him?
Yeah, and on that same call, he said, "My fear is that when I die, I'll be resurrected as a black person."
Oh, I didn't know he said that on that call.
Let me get that direct quote.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So for anyone who at this point is puzzled as to why Solo Sikoa looked like he didn't want to be there for the 10-bell salute, here's why. Jeez. I don't know if I even knew that part, that he had said that.
Yeah. He said
so he was teaching so obviously he had raised his son, so to be racist as well, I assume.
Yes. Also dreading the idea that his son's arrest could mean that the two could be reincarnated as black man.
Jesus.
Black man.
Wow. Good Lord. Was there any context for that, or did he just blurt that out during the call? Like, what? Because that's interesting too. If somebody goes out of because what could have possibly been the context? I mean, if he just say something like that.
Here is the direct quote.
Okay.
You know that God gave you this vibe and this energy that you and I are going to live forever, bro. He said, "I just hope we don't come back as a couple. I don't want to say it. Blizzak Gizeyes. You know what I'm saying?" Brutal. Nick responded after they both laughed.
Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah.
Your mom,
Yeah.
yeah. And Hogan also talked to Nick about possibly being transferred from the adult jail to juvenile hall. It's down in St. Pete and it's mixed race and we get along with everybody, so that's fine, Nick said. Hulk said, your mom went there and said it was mainly Blizz. You know what I'm saying?
The fuck?
What the fuck?
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, here's his apology.
Mm.
8 years ago, I used offensive language. There is no excuse, and I apologize.
Oh, good. Well, at least after 8 years, he was able to muster that up. Good for him. Good for him. Only took 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. So for people who love Hulk Hogan who don't understand why anyone would have a bad thing to say, or why maybe we approach this with some nuance, here's why.
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I've gotten a here. I'm gonna try to bring him on screen with us. Come here.
oh, hey, Rocky.
I have gotten a better apology from this guy after he pees in the house
Oh, really? Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
Come here, you're not in trouble.
And it doesn't take him 8 years, obviously.
No, no. Feeding time is pretty much when it's apology time.
Yeah. Well, we've been, this has actually been well over an hour. Is there anything else we want to say about Hulk Hogan this week, or?
My thoughts and condolences go out to his friends and family.
By the way, let me just ask you this, and maybe this is kind of how we'll put a button on it. What did you feel when you learned? Like, what was your gut reaction when you learned that he passed away? And then I'll tell you mine.
Do you want brutal honesty?
I do. Yeah. Well, absolutely.
One less piece of shit in society.
Wow. Mine was a bit more nuanced. No, oh, go ahead.
To embellish on that, just so again, I'm not painted as this disrespectful, hard-hearted person. When Ozzy Osbourne died earlier in the week, I actually shed a couple tears.
Yeah.
Look, for me, it's my personal opinion. The bad far outweighed the good that I felt towards him.
Yeah.
And any good memories I had of him as a professional wrestler. I think you are a low human being if you are a man and you are the provider of your family to psychologically abuse your daughter and wife.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think if you admit to being a racist and then you give a boilerplate apology, you're a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
I think if you cost your coworkers millions of dollars in benefits and protection because you didn't want to lose all of your money in what a union would do, you're a piece of shit. And that's the crux of Hulk Hogan. Right there is, I feel the character of Terry Bollea far supersedes any good Hulk Hogan ever did. That's why I felt good. One less piece of crap on this earth.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your honesty about it. My feelings are a little different. I felt a little bit numb because, obviously, I mean, I agree with every single negative thing that you've said about him, about Terry Bollea. I absolutely agree with. But it was a little different for me, just thinking about like it was like I said in that Facebook post the other day. I said, Hogan loomed as a character. The character of Hulk Hogan loomed so large in my childhood. And then of course that big second wind he had that was so important in wrestling during the NWO period and everything, which is my favorite. That was my favorite version of Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. And it's hard for me to. It's almost hard. It's hard for me not to compartmentalize that a little bit. And so but the other thing is too, and you've heard me say this kind of joking. I'm going to say something familiar that you've heard me say before, but I'm not actually joking when I say it. I usually say it when we talk about a certain individual we make fun of, but once someone passes away, that's it. There's no more chance for redemption. And I wish that Hulk Hogan at some point could have finally figured it out and said, I said some really hurtful things that are racist, and I regret not only saying those things and the negative impact that those words have, but I also regret that the impact that has on my legacy, the character of Hulk Hogan, because Terry Bollea, in those moments was not living up to the character of Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan is for everybody. Hulk Hogan doesn't care what color you are. Hulk Hogan's for everybody. I
Yep.
wish he could have somehow, someday, some way gotten to that.
I
And
agree.
and
I can't agree with you more.
and
And
now it's too late. And
um
that makes me sad.
I'm going to kind of put a bow on my feelings, and it's something I've said before on the show even about him. But I'm going to add something to it right here.
Mm-hmm.
The money he took for years had only one color,
Mm-hmm.
green. And it didn't matter what color he took it from.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to I would guarantee you that same amount of African American kids had their parents buy them Hulk Hogan merchandise as white people, because wrestling is not progressive. There wasn't a black hero in wrestling in the 80s. Yeah, they were given Ron Simmons, but
Well, there was, I mean,
not
Junkyard
like
Dog, but
Hulk Hogan level.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So my point is that Hulk Hogan was it, and so he had no problem taking that money,
Right.
no matter who gave it to him. And my final point is, what did Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, ever give back to the business? People are like, oh, his injuries. And any man or woman, anybody who steps into those rings is giving their body to this business.
Mm.
That's nothing special. This business gave Hulk Hogan so much. When did he pass the torch? When did he genuinely let his generation go away and pass the torch on? People forget when he wrestled Shawn Michaels in 2005. He politicked to get over.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a 3 match, supposed to be a trilogy,
Yeah.
and Shawn was going to go over. After the first match and Hogan goes over, Hogan puts the kibosh on it.
Yeah.
So the business gave him everything. Everything. He is not at the level he's at without professional wrestling.
Right. Right. Of
I
course.
mean, because I know that Metallica bass player audition didn't pan out
Yeah.
because it never fucking happened.
Right. Yeah, that's something we didn't talk about, but I think
Uh,
everyone knows
j-
that by now. Hogan was such a lot. Hogan made up so many stories over the years in
He
different
said
interviews.
how he broke Dick Slater's arm in Japan.
I don't even know that story. Not that, but I'm sure it didn't happen because
No, Dick Slater would have killed him.
if Hogan said it, there's a good chance it didn't really happen. Yeah, I know he was a notorious liar. That's another big
He
thing.
said another one how Brody feared him.
Oh yeah, we could do a whole episode on Hogan's lies.
Like, where does this crap even come from?
I know. Yeah.
Like, yeah, my favorite thing is the Metallica one because someone asked Lars about it and he said, I've never met Hulk Hogan in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, thank Hulk Hogan for that bass line in Whom the Bell Tolls, because it was all him.
As far as giving back, though, I will say one thing. Just he did, if I'm not mistaken, and John Cena obviously has since broken this record, but I believe during the '80s, kind of peak Hulkamania, didn't Hulk Hogan hold the record for Make a Wish? Didn't he see more kids than
That's
anybody
not
else?
giving back to the business, though.
Well, but it's giving, but yeah, it's
It's
giving back.
giving back to the fans. Giving
But
back to
that,
the business is sacrificing
I know.
your personal standing to better the business.
I agree. It's not the same thing, but I just think it's worth mentioning though.
It
I just
is.
wanted to, because that is something that I do think
He
is
was very
honorable and we should
charitable,
mention.
which
Yeah. He did a
also
lot for charity. He
to
did.
circle in back to Rocky's point, that hard R killed him
Yep.
because he was so charitable. He
Yes.
did do so much. And I do believe at some point that he genuinely took the good that Hulk Hogan represented and ingrained it into Terry Bollea. I just think the evil of Terry Bollea superseded it.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was so hidden for so long, and he's like, got one over on him, brother.
Yeah.
And so then he just figured he could let it out because he's so beloved
Yeah.
that he could get away with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is sad that when we're remembering him, a majority of it is negative because there was a lot of good
Mm-hmm.
that he did. But the just bad is just the bad just takes it over
Yeah. It's a
because of
shame.
how heinous it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well,
And
oh, go ahead.
yeah, in marrying a woman that is your daughter's age and looks just like your daughter is just downright creepy.
That is.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Well, how old? So is that the woman he was married to at the end?
No, that's Jennifer.
That's
Sky is
Jennifer.
the one he was married to. Let me see if I can find a picture of her, and y'all can be the judge.
So this last marriage was his third marriage?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because at a certain point, I kind of stopped paying attention to like I was never someone who could sit and actually like sit through an episode of Hogan Knows Best and enjoy it or anything like
I
that.
mean, it wasn't even a funny, like, I don't even like saying this about this show because it's very disparaging to the show because the
Mhm.
show was absolutely funny. It wasn't like the Osbournes where it was a funny train wreck.
Right.
It was a legit, like, this family, the son is running wild.
Yeah.
The wife is spending like crazy.
Yeah.
And, Brooke is being treated like a little girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you send me a picture or
Oh, yeah, no,
it was not a big deal, but
I'm trying to find the wait a minute, there it is. People should have a very good picture of her.
yeah, didn't this cause a problem between he and Brooke that, he was
It
dating
it
her
uh
friend?
it
It's pretty weird.
yeah, well, she was a friend of Brooks.
Yeah. And the thing is too, when you're rich and famous, like Hulk Hogan, you've got options for dating. You don't have to You don't have to date one of your daughter's friends who's your daughter's age. You've got other options, certainly, other women you could be meeting.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding a
Oh, that's
think I'm
okay.
I
Maybe
think
if
oh,
you
here it yes.
just have
Oh
it.
man, in this photo, you can definitely see it. The just how much she looks like Brooke.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I need to bring you back up on Facebook here. Doing this on a MacBook is so easy, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
It really is. Like,
Um, in some sense, oh yeah, it does look like Brooke. Let me see. Let me grab this. I'll put it up so people can see it. Download. Yeah, that does. I see. I'd never really, because like I said, at a certain point, I just stopped paying attention
yeah.
to a lot of the drama around Hogan. So but yeah, that does look a lot like Brooke. What I was gonna say though is, and hear me out, and I don't just mean that for you, but for the listeners, hear me out. It kind of makes sense if you take the age part out of it. What's the rule? Half your age plus 7. I think she's probably a lot younger than that. But it kind of makes sense if Hulk Hogan as a man, if he had some men are attracted to very specific characteristics in a woman.
That
And
looked like his daughter?
well, here's the thing though. Think about it. Genetically, his daughter looks like his daughter's mother, right? So if there are certain genetic characteristics that Hogan's wife has, and then they have a child, the daughter is going to have those same characteristics genetically. So for him to find
Okay.
you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's
I
not
get where you're going.
people think it's creepy, but if you think about it logically, it actually makes sense. If because
He
some men,
definitely, if you look at all of his wives, and
yeah,
he definitely has a type.
because this woman, yeah, she looks like Brooke. She also looks, but by default, she also looks like a young version of Linda. That Linda, right? That's his
Yes.
first wife. So, that's what I mean. So for anyone who, if you think about it logically, it makes sense. So, but anyway, doesn't make the whole thing any less weird though. Well, all right. On that note, should we we'll put a bow on it?
Yeah.
Put this one in the books. Episode 12 of Tough Bumps, and we never talked about what we're going to talk about next week. I do think one of the things I'll kind of put you on the spot here. We should talk about Goldberg, because I'll just say I thought his match with Gunther was better than anyone had a right to expect it to be. And then he
I
goes,
have
and then he goes and shits all over everything. What is wrong
Yup.
with this guy? He went out on a high note, and
Matt,
all he's doing is bitching about it.
I want to hear you say these words.
Yeah.
Eric, you were right.
Well, about what specifically though?
About Goldberg being a turd. Like this just
Yeah, you were. I'll say it. Yeah.
this just to quote Crichton from Red Dwarf, allow me to enter smug mode. Look.
Yeah,
Just
we got to talk about that next week for sure. And maybe
I mean, and next weekend is SummerSlam.
oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So stay tuned to our page for some potential breaking news that
Yes.
we might be doing some great things with SummerSlam.
Yes, yes. I hope so. I hope so. All right. So on that note, thank you to everyone who participated in the show live, who watched live, and thank you to everyone who's listening to the podcast. Of course, you can go to mattconnerton.com/toughbumps for the archive, and it is on all the major podcasting platforms as well. And Eric, where can people find you online?
Can find me at Facebook at Eric Pilcher, ERICH. If you type in facebook.com/BITW319, you will find me. You can find me on Instagram at EPilcher617, Twitter ERPilcher319.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone who joined us this week on the show and who supports the show. And rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. All right. We're out.